Welcome to Advanblack's YouTube channel. I'm Steve, service technician for Advanblack. Today, got another super easy install for you. It's our brand new AERO blades we're going to be putting on the front of this lowrider ST back here. So this is a switchback style light, so it's a white running light, and it's going to have an amber sequential turn signal. They're going to pair up nicely with our edge line lights that we have in the back. Those are also run, brake, and sequential turn signals, but these will be installed on the front fairing. Now these will fit the Advanblack ST Syle Fairing, and they will fit the OEM ST fairings. The only thing it will require is that your turn signals are down here on the side of your fairing. Like I said, this is going to be a super easy install, something that you can definitely do at home. So let's get the camera over here and get them installed. So over here on the table, you'll have everything that comes inside the box. You're going to have two splitters here, an accessory pack that has your alcohol pads, zip ties, and of course the AERO blades. You will get a little bit of paperwork with it, including a set of Advanblack stickers. Now, in order to get these installed, we do have to split the inner and the outer fairing, which is very easy to do. The first thing we're going to do is remove these 6 windshield bolts. We're going to be using a Torx 27. The next thing we're going to do is use the same Torx 27 to remove 3 screws on each side of the fairing. I like to go ahead and start at the bottom 2, leaving the top 2 intact. Before we remove the fairing, we're going to go ahead and protect our front fender. Now the final 2 screws are right here on top, and we can get in front of the fairing to help hold it in place. We're going to remove these 2. Now with those final 2 released, we can pull the fairing forward. Reach in, disconnect our front headlight. Disconnect, take our splitter, reconnect, reconnect, and that leaves us for here. At this point, we're going to go ahead and connect our left and right lights. We're going to lay them up here, and we're going to test these before we actually get them installed. We've got the left side turn signal working correctly. Right side turn signal working correctly. So now that we have our extensions on and we got them pushed into the inside of the fairing here, we can take our little sticky pads, put one right here, one right here. We can zip tie this wire, pull this up taut, zip tie this wire right to this pad in the front. From the inside, we'll bring our lights down, connect it to the harness, do that on both sides. So now we have both lights hooked up. We're going to set those down so we can reinstall our outer fairing. Go ahead and plug your headlight back in, slide your fairing up into place. We want to look down there and make sure the corners of our fairing aren't catching those wires. This right back up into place. Grab a couple of bolts at the top, get those started. That'll help hold it in place for us. Get our little wings back in place. Check, check, check. Bring our windshield back up into place. So what we're going to do right now is take both of our lights from the inner fairing up and over, and this brings our connections right down in here. So if we ever need to take our outer fairing and windshield off again, our connectors are easily accessible right down there in front of the fairing bracket. I'm not really going to be able to get the camera down in there to show you what I'm doing, but you're going to take this excess wire, poke it back in around the headlight housing, anything that you don't need, and you can zip tie it, and I'll show you after I get it done. You can zip tie it to the frame to keep it taut up against the inner fairing. Now where you mount these, we're going to leave up to you. These are designed to mount on the fairing right here or on the windshield. So you can stick it right here below the windshield like this, or you can actually pull it up and put it in between the two bolts on the windshield. Now in this bike, we're going to actually put it on the fairing down here. Chances are in the future, we would change the windshield. We're never going to change the outer fairing. So just remember that if you stick them to the windshield and you want to change your windshield later, you will have to peel these off, peel all the old 3M tape off of this, add new 3M tape to this, and re-stick it. But chances are we'll never change the outer fairing. So on this one, we're going to put them right here on this line, just like this. And you can basically put them anywhere you want, from the edge of the windshield here all the way up to the edge of the windshield up here, or you can center it just like that. We're going to take one of our alcohol pads and make sure we get off any waxes, polishes, oils, fingerprints, anything like that. Go ahead and get that off the fairing so this has a good surface area for that 3M tape to stick to. Now once that's flash dried, we can go ahead and take our light. We're going to take our thumbnail, give that 3M a good scratch on the back side. It really helps to activate that glue that's on that tape. I'm going to use the windshield edge and eyeball this. I'm going to use that, and I'm going to use this leading edge right here. Well, don't put it right up against the windshield. Drop it directly below it, so it's kind of falling out where the back side of this is almost even with that screw. And I'm just going to lightly set it there before I actually press it down. Do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to lightly touch it there to make sure that's where I want it. And we just got it lightly touched on there right now. So I'm going to kick the bike on, see what it looks like. So I like the way that looks. So I'm going to go ahead and finish pressing down the lights. When you press this down, we're going to make sure we're not right up against that windshield. So this will make it hard to get the windshield off later. So leave yourself a little bit of a gap. So from here, once again, this is going to be left up to you how you want to run this wire down the inside of your fairing. We're going to use our little sticky zip tie pads and put on the inside of the fairing, preferably one down here closer to the bottom. I'm going to mount this one in between the fairing bracket and the little vent. Now in the instructions that you get with this, it's going to show a couple of different of these zip tie pads, but I think personally one of these is going to be good enough, and keep it down at the bottom so you don't see it unless you're looking down inside the inner fairing. Take you off the tripod real quick to show you how I ran the wire. Now obviously there are plenty of sticky pads if you want to go ahead and add them all the way down this. But as you can see, what I did is put one right down there, put a zip tie through it, and I pulled it taut in between the mounting bracket and the vent. We did that on both sides. And then you can see right there on that bracket where I put one zip tie around it, and I put the control module inside the fairing bracket. And if by chance you just added LEDs and you have hyper flash, which means that the turn signals are actually turning at the regular rate, but over here on your dash you have a fast blink, that just means the bike needs to be relearned for LEDs. It's a very easy procedure to do. The first thing we're going to do is come over to the bike and turn the ignition on. We're going to turn our hazard lights on. We're going to turn the bike off. We're going to let those hazard lights run up to 5 minutes. Usually it takes about 10 seconds, maybe not even that, 3 to 5 seconds. You'll see your blinkers, and the blinkers on your dash will sync up and they'll blink at the normal rate. Once you've done that, you're going to turn your bike back on, you're going to turn your hazard lights off, and you're going to turn your bike back off again. Let it go through the shutdown procedure, and then it is relearned for LEDs. Like I said, super easy install. Even though you have to split the fairing on this bike, it's very easy to do. Within a few minutes, you can have the AERO blades installed on your bike. If you'd like to get your hands on a set of these, I'll put a link in the description down below. For the first 3 days that this video is released, you can purchase them through a dealer, but they will not be on the website. After the first 3 days, we'll have a link down in the description. It'll take you straight over to the website where you can purchase them, or you can get them through the dealer, like I said, for the first 3 days. I hope this video helped you, and if it did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe. Stay up to date on all of our brand new products from Advanblack. I'm going to get out of here, get myself back to work. I hope to see you in the next video, but until then, as always, be safe, keep your knees in the breeze.